Today's topic is my death wish. It's an odd and frightening sensation to wish you were dead. After my husband died, I fervently wished I could die too. The first time I read that grieving people sometimes fantasize about death, I was relieved. My entire life I had appreciated the gift of life. To suddenly and fervently wish it away was a disconcerting and lonely experience. When my husband Phil was hit by a car, the initial shock provided a buffer to the complicated emotions that would gather to haunt me in the days and months to come. As the buffer of shock wore off, I was struck daily by the realization that Phil wasn't coming home. It felt like Groundhog Day. Every day I woke up with the expectation that the day would somehow go differently, and I would discover that Phil really wasn't gone. Day by day, the reality of his death ate away at my desire to live. There's a difference between wishing to be dead and being suicidal. My death wish did not come from a desire to stop living. It didn't even come from a desire to stop hurting. Though the pain was so intense at times, I hoped it would kill me. My death wish came from a desire to be with Phil again. His physical absence was like a phantom pain in a limb that was no longer attached. My death wish became a part of my daydreams. Jogging up a street, I would mentally challenge cars to run me over. On a plane, I could imagine a fiery crash that I didn't survive. Hiking in the mountains, I looked for wild animals that might want to make a meal of me. Driving alone in a car, I visualized my car flying over any edge I passed. Every brush with imagined death was followed by the disappointing result of still being alive, continuing to jog down the street, landing as expected at the destination, a safe return from hiking adventures, and no crash over the nearest ledge. The longing I felt to be with him was a constant ache. The only cure I could imagine was joining him wherever he was. As time marched on, the call to live gradually grew stronger. In the early part of my grieving, I desperately held on to two reasons to live. My kids needed me, and our family and friends would be so sad if I were gone too. All my reasons for wanting to live were about someone else. If it were up to me, beam me up, Lord. There was not one personal reason that I could think of to continue living. But healing has a way of sneaking up on you. Eventually, I recognized that my husband lived his life fully, every moment. He had an awareness of the value of life that influenced his daily choices. Reflecting on how he lived his life reminded me of the gift that life is, and he became a role model for me. As I begun the process of creating a life for myself without him, I have had to find reasons to live that are my own. I want to be a mother to my children. I want to make a difference in my community. I want to weave my husband's spirit into the fabric of the person I am becoming. I want to bask in the joy of being in love again. I want to experience the adventure that life still holds for me. The woman my husband married died with him. Grief has changed me, but I am proud of the woman that is emerging from the ashes of loss. Life is a gift to me in a way it never was before. The nuances of life don't bother me as much as they once did. Age-old adages like, take time to smell the roses, actually means something to me now. The world can't be the same place it was 3 years ago because Phil isn't in it. Somehow that comforts me. What I am learning is that though many things around me are radically different, I can still be whole, happy, grateful. Ironically, my death wish has become a steely will to truly live. Phil would be really glad to hear that. And remember, grief is not a problem that can be solved. It's a journey that must be walked. Wishing you peace for the journey. Thanks for joining us.